Hello. I'll wait a couple minutes for people to pool in. Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to wait a couple more minutes for people to pool in. Hi. Thank you for showing up at 4 p.m. on a random Wednesday. Hello. Can everyone hear me? I do have the tendency to have my mic muted, so can anyone hear me? Hello. Welcome to the stream. Okay, perfect. Thank God. Again, I'm still very much a noob to streaming, so please bear in mind. Hello, hello. I'm going to wait a couple minutes for people to come in. I'll start at the 5-minute mark just to have some more people pull in. How's everyone doing? Have you guys had a good week? Any cool events that you guys are going to? Any new cool prints that you guys are printing out? Thank you for sharing that you can hear that. That's a relief. I think last time I started the stream within 5 minutes and my mic and camera were muted. Hello. Hello, welcome to the stream. Hello, Clownhammer. Good afternoon. Welcome to the stream. Thank you guys again for joining me on a random Wednesday at 4 p.m. I'm in a different setting today. I'm at my house, not particularly in the Polymaker office. I had too much work to pull myself away. I am a remote worker, so it was a little too much traffic for me to get into the office today. Hello, Captain Kern Makes. What's happening? Are you guys having a great week so far? Hello, CGS Creations. Welcome to the stream. Hello, hello. Welcome to my stream. I believe this is my 3rd or 4th stream, so I'm still trying to get the hang of it. Hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. Thank you. I think with practice makes perfect, so hopefully I'll be a pro by the 10th stream like Joel. Welcome to the stream, everyone. Hello, welcome, welcome. Were you guys anticipating our HTPLA launch? I'll get into that later, but was anyone surprised by our new release being HTPLA? I saw a lot of people guess color changing temp filament, which was an interesting guess. I think it's probably because we introduced a teaser with different colors and heat, so it makes sense. Hello, Zombie Hedgehog. Yeah, I want to know how many people guessed it right. That's my question. Because we released a lot of teasers, and I'm not sure, but I'm going to get your input on this later. Today's stream will be a little bit different. Hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. Hello, hello. Okay, so we'll definitely get into the behind the scenes of the launch of HTPLA. So again, like I said, today's stream will be different. For those who just joined, welcome. For those who don't know what this stream is about, this is an intro. It's called Tiffany's Amateur Printing Hour. I am an amateur to printing as I just started at Polymaker 5 months ago. Usually I do a review of maybe 10 cool prints I see on MakerWorld, and I'll show off a print or so. And I will show off a print today, but I'm going to skip showing you guys some cool prints that I found today. And we're just going to review the HTPLA launch, and I'm going to give you guys a little sneak peeker. not a sneak peek, but a BTS of how our team prepped for this launch, the mishaps that went into this launch, just an overall behind the scenes of what went down. And I would love if you guys had questions for us too, and I'll answer to my best ability without really revealing too much of what kind of questions you guys had for, you know, the behind the scenes of us releasing this and what goes on when we release a launch like this. So feel free to ask any questions. Hard to hold on to secrets for months at a time, but not going live and having the new stuff in the background. Well, it's funny. We actually had a couple of mishaps with this. Yeah, I'm super excited to see a lot of you guys send in some cool prints and projects. We've already seen a couple from our KOLs, and you guys are extremely creative. The gradients is my personal favorite, so I've seen a lot of cool stuff from you guys. The old sneaky Pete. So I'll get into it. We have enough people in here. We've reached the 6-minute mark. I've done my little intro. Just to start off, I usually like to sometimes show off a cool print since I'm not reviewing any today. This is my recent obsession. So do you guys know what this is for? I've printed at least 10 of these in the past week, and they take about an hour and 4 minutes. But give me any guesses if you guys have any for what this print is. It's made with Polylite, and I believe the color is in beige. Paintbrush holder. No. Hello. So it's not a paintbrush holder. I've been really into, that would be actually a really good print to have. Gunpla markers. I only have 2 markers though, so I don't know if it can fit in here. So this is a little bit something more practical that I've been handing out as gifts. It's pretty gender neutral as a gift to give out, since a lot of my friends are into collecting these days. But it's actually a sample perfume holder. I found this on MakerWorld a couple weeks ago, and I've been meaning to print it. And when I went into the office last week, I actually managed to steal a roll of beige filament, which is perfect. I don't know if I have any questions about this print. I think it printed pretty well without me needing to adjust anything. In the future, I will try to print some more complicated things just to have you guys give me some cool suggestions, maybe like layer height, heat, and stuff like that. Well, honestly, I'll probably have to print with HTPLA soon since that's our new product, but this has been my recent obsession. I've printed at least 10 of these in the past week just to give out as gifts to people. And it's actually extremely useful and popular in demand that my friends and family have been asking me to print for them. And also, I feel like a scientist with a bunch of test tubes, but this is actually a perfume tester bottle holder. I have a bunch of these, and it's been just taking up so much space in my cabinet that it looks extremely messy. But with this print, I am able to organize this. And so I have gifted these to so many people, and it's been really fun to print also. I've been really into this. I love the texture and everything too. So this is my recent print addiction. Again, in Polylite beige, I believe. This is super fun. I've printed 10. Be cool to start with HTPLA next week. That's my cool print of the week. All right, so let's get into what we're going to talk about today. So today I'm going to talk about the kind of behind the scenes of the HTPLA launch and ask for some suggestions of memes and stuff for you guys, because we have a lot of content to create. This campaign is going to last for about a month, and we have a lot of cool stuff that we want to push out. We have a lot of content in the making, but I also want to ask you guys for opinions of what content you guys would like to see in the continuous weeks of this campaign. So let's get started with a cool page. We're going to go over the Polymaker memes. So like I said, I'm going to give you a little BTS of what it was like for us to release this product. It was definitely a lot. It was definitely a little bit stressful, but you know, at the end of the day, it was really worth it. So this is a meme that I have in the works just to push out soon. So we actually, during this launch week, barely have slept. And by barely have slept, I mean I'm functioning on 2 hours of sleep every night. I'm pretty sure Polymaker Pete can also can attest to that. CST does not always mean US EST. So I have a really fun story with that Critter 42. This is not to call out anyone. This is just a simple mistake. They always happen in our, and so what happened was with this comment here, CST. So we actually had a bunch of ads created. And our new marketing manager is a little bit new to the team, but as he was creating and scheduling the ads, the launch is on the 27th. So we actually had to move the launch date. So this is another behind the scenes to give you guys. The launch date was actually supposed to be on the 26th, but then we didn't realize that Memorial Day fell on the same day. So we weren't sure if it would be a little bit offensive or not to have such a release on a day like that, a US holiday like that for our US audience. So we pivoted a little bit and moved it to the 27th. However, when we were planning everything, again, our marketing manager created a bunch of ads to push out, and the new launch release was on the 27th. So what happened was that he had scheduled it at 10:30 a.m. CST. Now, what he didn't realize that CST was actually China Beijing time instead of US CST. So to this comment, we actually had a mini heart attack the night before. I believe it was 11 p.m. on the 26th, again, Memorial Day weekend. But honestly, the Polymaker NAB team, the North America team, did not really have a break here. If I'm going to be honest with you guys, we had stayed up all night. Most of the team had stayed up all night just monitoring everything. And then we realized that the ads all launched the day before on the 26th at 11 p.m., revealing our huge launch. Yeah, we did move it. 1.75 days, would that really make a difference? But yeah, I think there were about 15 ads that released. And you know, when you turn off an ad, it does take a little bit of time for them to all turn off at the same time. So at that point, it was, if you know, you know. If you were on Facebook and you saw, we actually had a couple of reactions out already of HTPLA being released. We thought we were being sneaky with the teasers, but I think our own downfall was accidentally teasing a little too much by accidentally releasing our ads. So that was one mishap. Another mishap was that we actually had a teaser reveal. Let's see if I could find it in here. We actually had a teaser reveal. It was our final teaser, and something went wrong in our files. And what had happened in our files was that this needed to be adjusted. And so this needed to be adjusted to be Instagram size, like an Instagram post size. And this is the original post. Now, this is what you would see here if I didn't ask for the image to be readjusted. And as you can see, the Polymaker HTPLA name is nowhere to be seen. But the biggest mishap here is that we had asked for it to be reformatted, and somehow along the way, the reformatted size, let me try to find it for you guys. Here it is. So I want you guys to pay close attention here. So this is the one that went out, and we had to swiftly delete it after a couple hours, because if you zoom in here, you will see HTP. And from my misunderstanding, I had thought that this was intentional as a final teaser to you guys, just to tease a little bit. But what happened was that it was Memorial Day weekend again still. So on Monday, I had decided to sleep in. This went out at 10 a.m. US Central Time. And I woke up at 1 p.m. To a slew of messages from my team saying that this was the wrong teaser to push out, and it nearly gave me a heart attack. So as you can see, the HTP, I thought this was an intentional little teaser for you guys. It was not. It definitely was not. This was actually not the correct teaser. Also, the current teaser that you guys see out for the fourth one was the actual teaser. So miscommunication on everyone's end. It was pretty funny. Not in the moment. We were extremely stressed in the moment, but it's not a launch without some mishaps, I'd like to say. Some fun mishaps. It's about the way you handle it. So that was mishap number one. Actually, number two, if we include the Facebook ads going out extremely early. So what was supposed to happen? Oh, That's what I saw and commented on my post and said HTPLA, and then my comment was removed. Yes, so we did some major damage control the day before. Lots of heart attacks, lots and lots of heart attacks during this release. But honestly, that's kind of what makes it funny. You know, at the end of the day, I think a lot of people were still surprised, but it's with it internally, we were dying a little bit. As you can see here, I put a couple of memes. I'm gonna try to push this out. If you guys, I'll walk through it. So these are the HTPLA spools. We had so many meetings, so many meetings about this launch. So one thing was that we were actually supposed to launch at 10 a.m. Yesterday, and because of all those mishaps of everything going out early and teasers being a little too transparent of what the product was, we decided to push it 2 hours early. Luckily, a lot of things we had created already were already scheduled out and planned, so all we had to do was a simple push to post everything out. But definitely at 8 a.m. we had a team meeting just to push the launch out 2 hours early. So it was pretty funny. It was pretty funny. We all handled it pretty calmly, but we could sense a little bit of stress in our voices in the background. I'm going to add some coffee to this because a lot of coffee was drinking to keep this launch on time. Can you taste it? Make it taste like coffee? No, but I do know Cocoa Press makes a mean chocolate 3D print. Polymaker should make a thing called Polymaker Pets where they show off prints people did with their pets. That would be fun. That could be a campaign. That's what I saw. I think I already mentioned that. Can you show it tastes like coffee? I thought it might have been early. So yes, it was extremely early. There were also some KOL videos that were pushed out a little early too, but you know, we just got to roll with it. Luckily, I think the launch was extremely successful. We got a lot of good feedback on it. Obviously, we're not releasing anything mind-blowing or innovative. It is HTPLA, but since the summer is coming up, we really wanted to release our own HTPLA since we don't have that yet. So one thing Polymaker does pride itself in, not to toot our own horn, is that, you know, although we're not pushing out anything new, I think we push out quality when we push out a new release. You shouldn't work so hard. We've all known for weeks, but thought we'd play it along. I don't think that's actually true. We actually got a lot of different guesses of what the launch would be. So I don't know. We also had a little teaser at Rocky Mountain. We had the Polymaker scientists, as you can see here. These were also all on the table for people to touch and play with. They were all labeled at the bottom, except for this PLA right here. We had a lot of people question about it, and luckily we were able to keep some secrets. Scratch and sniff stickers. Hello, Jose. Welcome to the stream. But yeah, we had some teasers out in the open for people to look at. We didn't get any spoilers for that, thankfully. Just to give you guys a little BTS of what it was like, Pete, as everyone probably knows in this chat, is the project manager and product manager also. So he's the one who kind of spearheaded this whole HTPLA launch. May 27th, this is Pete at midnight. Everything's fine. This is his reaction to everything being pushed out a little bit early. So obviously we did not sleep at all that night. Launch day is a little bit stressful, but it's fun. I think I thrive off of the stress and the fun of that. So yeah, this is the meme I'm probably going to push out. I hope people find it relatable of what goes on in this launch. Definitely a lot of stress, for sure. So while you guys are here, I actually want to create a meme with you guys. So this is one I had pushed out earlier this week, again, to kind of allude to HTPLA. The question is, at what temp does PLA start to melt? So this was kind of like another teaser trying to tease HTPLA. And actually, we got one comment here that I'm going to go to. 1 minute while I share this. So we actually got a comment here on this post specifically. Here it is. But seeing the video, it makes me think at their correct question is, at what temperature does PLA melt of others? So this was actually someone who got it right. It was definitely a nod to HTPLA. So I don't know if a lot of you guys knew or not, but if you didn't, I hope you were surprised. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat, everyone. Yeah, so let's create a meme together. So I had created this one on Monday. Every Monday we try to push out a meme or something funny and relatable for the chat. So I'm probably going to push this one out soon, but I want you guys to know, I want to ask you guys, what do you think would be a funny nod to HTPLA that I could create? I would love to hear your suggestions on what memes you would find funny about this release. Yeah, one thing about the feedback we've been receiving that kind of shocked us, Polymaker is known to be a little bit higher on the price point, and understandably, we do market ourselves as a little bit more of a higher end filament line. So honestly, having people say that it was actually affordable was actually really surprising to us, and we're really glad to hear that. Does using HTPLA mean I can safely keep the door of my bamboo PS1 closed when printing? I would hope so. I would hope so. The fire and ice look particularly cool. What fire and ice are we talking about? But yeah, I would love for you guys to help me create a meme while we're here. Let's make this a group effort. We're just going to go over some cool stuff today. So what kind of meme would you think would be funny for this HTPLA launch? What do you guys find funny? I've been trying to rack my head around this. We have a new content creator, so we actually have a video shoot next week. The gradients as a meme, as something funny. Make M&Ms and say it melts in your oven, not in your hands. Make M&Ms and say it melts in your hands. Could show the scientists and the dead ones wishing they were made of HTPLA. That one is actually funny. I'm going to take that one. Let's see what scientist I have. Here we have another. We have the scientist here. Do you think I should reuse this meme? You asked what fire and ice. Yes, which fire and ice are we talking about? Finding funny and relatable stuff is a lot harder after I've exhausted. I think the funniest one I put out was the stabbing of the spool and the confusing fire and ice are two of the new filaments. Oh, I could use that. I could use that. Sorry, I thought you were referencing something from our Instagram post earlier. I could use that. I could use that. I could use that. Now, how could I make that funny, chat? What could I say? The spool stabbies is my personal favorite. So I actually do have something new with that one. Let me see if I could share that. So this will be released this Friday. Anyone excited to stab a new spool of filament with HTPLA? I'm expecting a lot of you guys to send me stabbing videos of this. But yeah, while I'm here, I would love the feedback of what kind of content you guys would love to see for this HTPLA launch in the upcoming weeks. I definitely want to put out some humor with this, so definitely want to do something with the melted scientist. I would love to hear more suggestions. HTPLA melts in the hot thing, not in your enclosure, in an M&M style to add to what others had said. Okay, that one's pretty funny. Maybe I could 3D print some M&Ms. But what could I do with the fire and ice? Well, I guess at Pezlas, this question will be targeted towards everyone. What's your favorite color from the release? We released a lot of toolbox colors, so let me know from you guys. Steaming letter spaghettis, that's nothing but HTPLA. That's pretty funny. That's definitely pretty funny. So I'm gonna save that for sure. Yeah, I can't wait to see you guys send in more cool stuff. Did you see the models Daddy Wazzy and I posted in the print-off shows? They could start a good fire and ice meme. Okay, okay. Is this on Twitter? Well, considered the bags are non-receivable, Pete is enabling all this. That'll probably be a meme down the line. I think Pete intentionally did that so you guys could stab. Yes, Puzzles, I love the tool colors. The power tool colors were great. On Discord, I will definitely have to check. Have the Polymaker scientist testing it with a flamethrower. That would be pretty funny. So the content team and I are actually going to meet next week, and we're thinking about creating a funny video. So again, H2PLA has taken up a lot of our time. This has been planned for about 2 or 3 months at this point. I think it'd be hilarious to have a meme of us with a kiddie pool in our filament room. And this is how we spend our summer while everyone else is having fun. We're in our room testing filament. We're in our car testing filament, watching it burn, watching it melt. A lot of good suggestions so far. I'll definitely keep that in mind. Let's see if I could find a flamethrower here. Do something with the song Hot Hot by Buster Poindexter. Okay. Definitely another one to keep in mind. I'll have to find a better flamethrower here. Yeah, we actually have some videos of the PLA melting in the car, so if you can imagine, that's how we spent our time, just waiting in the car, waiting for the filament to melt. A scientist with many layers of doll clothes on alongside a scientist in Budgie Smugglers. What is Budgie Smugglers? At Tony Wright. A lot of good suggestions so far. Thank you, everyone. What is a Budgie Smuggler? Well, I think I got enough suggestions for now. We'll definitely cook something up with that. With that being said, let's go to our Twitter to analyze some of our releases here. A very small bathing suit. Maybe I'll have to 3D print that. All right, so we're going to go to the analytics here. So the one thing from this release is somehow on our Twitter, our Japanese audience has really taken a good grasp of HTPLA, our HTPLA launch, which I'm really surprised about. I'm not sure how we got this many new Japanese followers, considering all of our posts are in English also. I definitely want to show you guys how the release has changed. So let's start from 28th to, let's go to the 26th, because 27th is when we started. So if we give it a week, Japan was at like a 9%, and throughout the month, also pretty small fraction of our audience is Japanese. And ever since we started with this launch, it spiked up pretty fast to about 12%. So that was kind of impressive for us to see. JRRF is coming up. Japan Rep Festival is coming up. So we've seen a lot of community members actually use our filament to make maker chips. So we'll go through that next. So that was a really fun surprise. If we look through here, I'm getting a lot of Japanese. Let's scroll a little bit more, just to give you guys a little sneak peek behind our X, our Twitter. We've got a lot of cool Japanese users really take a liking to our new product. So it's really fun to see our global audience here. There's a point where I had so many. Let's see, brimming with confidence. Well, Japan's scorching summer heat is apparently largely due to high humidity. It is a brutal temperature. So I think I'm really loving seeing our audience grow so much. And I'm really loving to see all of the Japanese audience be really interactive also. Yeah, I'm gonna try to find that, but we have a Japanese user here who bought so much filament from us to create maker chips. As you can see here, another maker chip. And a lot of them are using Polymaker also, so love that. I think this is the user who has bought so much Polymaker filament. Yeah, so we have a user right here using our Polyterra for a maker chip. So Sunstella 3D is actually our reseller in Japan. So we've been pretty interactive with them since this HTPLA release. So really cool to see our global audience. And I think our China team will also be at Japan Rip Rep Festival, but don't quote me on that. So hopefully we'll see a lot more behind the scenes of that. But yeah, look at all this filament. So much filament. But yeah, really cool to see an influx of new Japanese followers also. I've found a way to really interact with people is just to really talk to them. Obviously, there's a language barrier, so I've really done my best with Google Translate. And looking at our analytics and looking at our new follower count, honestly, I think it's working. But the Maker Chip team should go, right? I would love for them to send me to Japan, Pezliz. But yeah, a lot of our Japanese audience is waiting for HTPLA to release on our reseller site. So that was also a really surprising thing to see. We got a couple of Korean comments also, which is fun. But if you just look through the amount that I'm scrolling, we have a lot of Japanese users. So again, really cool to see. Pezliz, I'm going to need you to convince Nico to send me also. I'm going to need you to talk to him. So let's go through our analytics just so we could see the amount of followers. Yeah, an influx of Japanese followers, which is crazy to us. A whole market we need to tap into. But yeah, I'm really happy with this HTPLA launch that it's gotten a lot of people from all over the world to take interest in our brand. We've captured a lot of a new audience. One thing I'm really proud about Polymaker with is that we are really interactive with our audience as a whole, so that's really cool. Joel will have another live stream this Saturday, so please tune in. Once in a lifetime, maybe trip. Once you print a maker chip. Is this for Hedgehog? So yeah, let's go through our HTPLA launch. So we released a full YouTube video here, which is really cool because within a day, this video, I believe, is at 56,000 views already. So within a day, we're pretty impressed with that view. We didn't expect you makers to grasp on this quick to it. We didn't expect such large growth in such a short amount of time. So thank you guys. Please feel free to share the video if you can. Let's go to our website. So our global site actually has all of our, if you haven't checked this out, we have a landing page for HTPLA. This also took a while to work on, but we're really happy that we had pushed this out in time for you guys. If you have the chance, please check out this landing page. Yeah, really, again, really surprised by the video that we pushed out for you guys. And we are really looking forward to a lot of our resellers planning this to push on their sites so our global audience can also try it out. So let's go to our newsletter that you guys probably have received already. This also took quite a bit to create also. We just wanted to make sure you guys got relevant information out here. A lot of trial and error putting this together as a lot of information kept changing over time. But you know, with the release, we love to pivot. That's hello. Thank you, Puzzles. We agree with summer coming up. I think a lot of people are wanting to print stuff to put in their car, planters to put outside. So a lot of cool stuff that's going on here. Honestly, so many new colors too. Again, let me know the fire and ice. I see it now here. Again, please let me know, you guys, what your favorite color from this release was, and what are you guys going to make with this HTPLA launch? Hello from Canada. I'm also Canadian. Welcome, welcome. Let's go through our Reddit and see what you guys have said about this release so far. So our Reddit community is also slowly growing. We're getting a lot of engagement on here as well. Let's read. So this person thought I was AI. I thought this was pretty funny, but we are based in Texas. It's extremely hot, so the perfect place to launch HTPLA and to use HTPLA. I guess my answer was a little too automated for them. Texas heat will be the perfect test. It's like watching an egg cook outside. This sounds like an AI answer. We try not to use too much AI. I think we got called out one time for shortening a quote from one of our newsletters, and one of our Discord community members had pointed that out and thought we were pushing out fake stories. So I'm a little scared of pushing out any content with too much ChatGPT now. Yeah, your buddy Dynic. One thing I'm really scared of is if there is a dash within the quote or within the captions, like this, people assume that it's all AI. I always misspell some things just to show that it's human. But again, sometimes it's not too professional, so I have to tiptoe between using ChatGPT or using my own brain for this. But yeah, I'm really extremely wary about using ChatGPT now. That one time we got called out because they thought it was a fake story really gave me anxiety. Trust me, I would not push out a fake story to you guys. One thing I try my best in is being extremely authentic to you guys and to our community as a whole. So please rest assured, everything I'm pushing out is very authentic. And if I do have to use ChatGPT, it's just to make sure that spelling is correct. Yeah, overall, we have a lot of good feedback from everyone. I can't imagine anyone being upset about this HTPLA launch. Maybe upset if it's not anything innovative, but you know, with this new launch, we're really excited to see what people can make, and we're really happy with the gradients and the colors that were released as well. So really happy with the comments that we've been receiving. And you know, Reddit is pretty brutal, so I was expecting a lot worse on here. All right, let's see what else. All right, to share with you guys another behind the scenes of this launch, I'll take you in of what we had to change and update just for everything to align. So we got some link trees here. As you can see, we actually have a lot of pages. The one that we have to be a little bit careful with is Polymaker figurines, as it does. We are trying not to get sued by Nintendo, but Polymaker Education, Polymaker Lab, also amazing channels. If you haven't checked it out yet, we have a wiki from Polymaker Lab that we've pushed out. This entire wiki was created by Sean, but we have so many suggestions that we're willing to take to make it better. So if you guys have any, please feel free to give us some suggestions. I can't believe you haven't printed ice cream cones yet, one with melted PLA. That is actually a really good suggestion. I think we're gonna have to take this in. Although we do have an ice cream print within the HTPLA YouTube video itself. So there is stuff like that. I have been called AI for being quick with answers at times. That's a good thing to have. When I first got hired for this job, my manager also told me that I spoke like ChatGPT. I wasn't sure how to take that, but I think I spoke too much like ChatGPT that people think that we're inauthentic with our content. But yeah, please check out our wiki. This was fruits of our labor, so we'll be pushing this out a little bit more. Print the cone with HTPLA and the ice cream with normal PLA, and then blast him with some heat. That's a really good one. I'm going to have to send that into our content creation team. So we have a new content creator. He just started last week. And actually, I would love to hear some video suggestions from you guys, because we want to push out more stuff on our TikTok and Reels specifically. You just want to see destruction. Honestly, with HTPLA, I think this is the best time for us to show destruction with other filament in comparison. So if there was a time, please feel free to send in some videos of you guys destroying some PLA and other material in comparison to HTPLA. That would be great. Your buddy Donick, we do love a good melt. So if you guys can make that happen, that would be great. But yeah, this week we were just really concentrating on HTPLA. I would love to hear more opinions on the type of content that you guys would like to see. If there's anything that we've missed in this launch, any feedback that you have for us about how we should handle things in the future, please let me know. And honestly, if anything, any cool things that you would like to see during a product launch like this, or I'm always down to take suggestions. And I'm pretty sure our team would love to hear it as well. I stabbed up bags in my stream last night. You would have cried with joy, but my resealable bag stays safe. Puzzles, I think you're gonna have to send that in for us to clip so we could post everywhere. Collab with a model sculpture to make Funko Pops for all Polymaker partners. That'd be fun. Let me write that down. I'm gonna write this down as a suggestion. Why are you stopping popping the bags? I thought that's what our community members love to do. I used all my resealable bags to transport things to Rocky Mountain. You know, we love that. You're repurposing our bags. That's good. That's good. Are these the ones that you already popped? I've yet to pop my first bag, so I'm thinking I'm gonna have to get a fresh bag of filament. Oh my god, Puzzlers. I think you just gave me new meme content of using our bags for multi-purpose. I think that would be really funny for our community members to see you using our resealable bags just to put in clothes for travel. That would be hilarious. What do you guys use the resealable bags for besides filament? What do you guys put in them? I want to make a video of me using my wireless hole puncher to make holes in bags. However, YouTube hates those type of videos these days. So Captain Kern, why does YouTube hate those videos? Please let me know. The kiddos spare clothes for school. Clothes. Granola bars. Yeah, firearms is something we definitely have to be careful about these days. I definitely learned the hard way. I responded to a couple comments and it definitely got me scolded a little bit. So that's another behind the scenes for you guys. But definitely have to be careful with that these days. That type of content is a little hit or miss from what I've seen. Puzzles, this is great work that you're doing, and I'm loving that you're using our bags for it. So I think that really proves how sturdy it is if you could put water bottles in there. That's actually a really fun and kind way to reuse the bags. I thought it was going to be something outlandish and funny, but this is actually extremely practical. Does anyone else have any cool things that they use the bag for? I think this is the best thing I've heard. Practical use of giving it to the homeless. Huh, packing is fun. Confession time. Sometimes I may use them for other. You know what? We love that. We encourage that. We encourage that. We're inclusive here. As long as you can repurpose it, we don't care what brand you use. As long as it's Polymaker, a Polymaker bag, we're just happy that you have one. I may have 100 or so videos of me popping bags, so please post them. Please post them. I would love to repost that on our socials. You can store filaments so I don't store mine. I think we've talked about everything we can store in these resealable bags except for actual filament. So maybe okay, this is a hot take. Does anyone really believe in drying filament? Is there a purpose for drying filament? I fill my bags with fails and supports and take it to my precious plastics guy. Okay, that's a good one. I'm gonna have to ask all the parents in the Polymaker team if they've ever used a resealable bag for diapers. Okay, I have not gotten to the point. Oh, is this Joel? Joel?
I wanted to sabotage. I was waiting for you to finish what you were doing. So you pretend I'm not here right now. Finish what you were doing here.
No, Joel, join the chat. Join the chat. So I've skipped out on reviewing my prints today just to highlight the HTPLA launch, and also because I don't have any cool prints to show off this week besides this.
Fair. I've got fun stuff to share.
What do you have? Oh, I was just telling the chat about all the mishaps that went down with the HTPLA release. Do you have any fun mishaps that you can share with us?
It's probably the same ones that you shared. Yeah, I mean, I think that's what I like, that you continue what I do. So I try to be as transparent as possible. So it's sharing the good and the bad. You know, we make mess ups. We definitely had some mess ups.
We definitely had some mess ups.
Just a few here. But no, I was.
Let me zoom in on Pete's message to the chat right here, the HTPLA chat. Pete, is this not you?
Yes. But, that's I think we all were sitting in that chair at one point, like just like what is life? Hey everybody, I didn't say hi to everybody. Hello. I didn't mean to sabotage your stuff, but hey, look, it's Pete. I just got off a call. The only reason I was joining in, we were in the other studio, getting stuff set up for Saturday actually. So Saturday, I'm sure, have you talked about that yet?
No, I did mention it. So what are you going to talk about on your Saturday live stream?
So we just went through the whole schedule and setup of the live stream. We're going to have some guests. Some we have sent invites to. I think most of them will join. Some already in here talking. But of course, we sent material out to a lot of KOLs, creators, content creators, key opinion leaders, for those that don't know what KOLs are. But creators receive the product. So we're going to have some testimonials from them. And what is their feelings on how it prints, printability, if they've been able to test things and how well it's worked. So we'll have them on. But we're also going to have, obviously, Pete's going to be on. It's Pete's show. It's I'm there to direct it as best as possible, and to intro things. But it's Pete's show. This has been Pete's baby for 6 months. We're gonna do some fun stuff and just kind of your general information, run down some stuff, have some special guests on, maybe the CEO, where we're trying to iron that out now. The timing we have to get right because he's not in the US currently.
Is it time?
Yeah. So we're trying to get everything, as long as everything matches up. We'll have some fun guests on. You guys get some kind of behind the scenes info, kind of how things work to an extent, what goes into a project like this. Despite what some people feel that, hey, I want X color of filament, why can't you just make it? It's not that simple. There's a lot goes into it. So no, but it'll be fun. It'll be 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturday. It'll be on Twitch and YouTube. Maybe, I mean, it's a big product launch. Maybe we'll give away some free product.
Maybe.
Yeah. So I mean, you can guess if that's going to happen or not.
So I gave them the fun mishap that went down with the time the time zones when releasing our Facebook ads. For those who don't
Facebook
know,
ads, KOL communication.
CST could also mean China Standard Time.
Yeah.
So we definitely released some ads on Beijing time on accident, but it's okay. It's okay. It's all part of the fun.
It all worked out.
We weren't stressed at all about it.
No, there was no stress. One of our meetings didn't turn into a hey, let's go ahead and get everything pushed through. Let's do this. But with all those moving parts, and yes, there were some things, there were speed bumps. I think everybody came together. Hey, can you get this? Hey, can you do this? Can you post this? Can we change the wording on this? We're noticing some things as we're posting it that everybody was quick to edit images, edit wording, so the wording wasn't misunderstood or wrong. Yeah, I think for being a pretty fresh team, we did pretty good. I like to think that at least.
I think we did a great job. I was telling them, we had a lot of mishaps, but I think the team handled it very calmly, even though we were all extremely stressed.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Just a little bit. And a lot of us went through many sleepless nights to make sure this launch went extremely smooth.
Yes. And we've learned, but the thing is, I think too, honestly, we can definitely say we've learned a lot. Will we make mistakes on the next one? For sure.
Probably.
but we know which ones we're not going to make.
Oh my gosh, well, I forgot to mention. So I mentioned that I released the wrong teaser because I was under the assumption that the one I released was the correct one. Mine says HTTP here, and I thought that was an extremely normal thing to have because I thought that was intentional.
Yeah,
Joel, share with the chat which one you released.
So what most don't know either is you had that. So we have a task that we're pulling all this information from. I don't know how much Tiffany explained. And so, okay, hey, here's teaser 1, 2, 3. This is the date. This is where we're going to post it. This is we had everything organized. Tiffany did an amazing job using our app that we use for tasks because I don't use it very well. But so you had that image. So I noticed on that image before I posted to Discord that it said HT and then had the PLA blacked out. So I messaged Pete. I said, hey, do you want to use this? Because it's not really a teaser. It's letting them know what it is. It's it's just giving it away. He's like, no. So he sent me a screenshot of what Oriana had. He's like, no, it should be this one. So it matches the other one. So I went into Air, which is where we save our images and stuff. It's a media management database for those that don't know. So I pulled the picture that was that picture. What I thought was that picture. Did not know there was 2 versions of that picture. One had the little black question mark moved up so you could read all of HTTP. The other one was down where it blocked it. The screenshot he shared me, it had it blocked. So I'm like, okay, cool. I seen that one. I assumed it was the right one. I posted it, and then I get a message from Nick. Hey, so the other one, basically the other one said HT. This one says HTPLA. It's like, oh man, like I thought I fixed it. I'm like, I caught an issue. I fixed it, and I just made it worse.
Through teamwork, Joel and I have exponentially almost released the full launch.
Oh, what's a release without some hiccups, though, right?
I think teamwork at best, Joel.
But yeah, the behind the scenes are always fun. I think Polymaker Pete, how many accounts are you going to join in here with?
Enough for him to get banned.
3D Polymaker Pete, but so we talk about like behind the scenes stuff. You and I both like to be transparent as much as we can. Let people see the real stuff. How things happen. It's not all perfect. It's not as exact as we want it to be sometimes. But let's see if I can do this. So you had requested something from me earlier, Tiffany.
What did I request?
You requested some information.
What information did I request?
The data from the Pocket 3.
Oh yeah.
I haven't been through that footage since we've gotten it. I've just we've recorded stuff, and I've mainly used it for live streams, but it has some fun clips on it, and like to go on that, like clips such as this.
Oh my God,
Joel. This is during setup at Rapid. There's some fun ones. Her and Nico were
my first time ever live streaming.
Yeah, so then there's the other one where you have
slide from what? Very good.
So they're messing with face tracking, and Nico is trying to get it to lock onto Tiffany.
Oh my god, the height difference is crazy.
Yes, it is.
Good.
I have some beef with that too. I'll show it to the chat.
On my face?
Yeah, it's only you. I think it's because you're taller.
Oh. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna wait.
So yeah, so I thought I was going through some. I haven't been through the rest, but hey, there's my background. Let's see. How do I? There we go. Remove. But yeah, I just wanted to share that because I'm like, this is fun. Get you guys some laughs.
We'll definitely have to find a way to utilize this in our social channels. I want more of Joel. I want people to clip Joel.
I'm clipping. Oh, trust me, I've seen my face put on many shirts and designs. Somebody came up with a really good one. I can't remember who it was in Discord. But, people were just putting a little clip face. But it was the one they said, "Hey, what about this?" And you've seen the shirts where you obviously have a graphic here, but when you pull the shirt up over your head, and then there's something on the backside or the inside of your shirt, so you can pull it like that, and then it's my face. I'm like, that would be a hilarious one because you wouldn't see it unless you pulled it up over your face.
I think we should make Joel exclusive merch. I am awesome.
Guess what I'm logged into right now? I'm logged into the merch. I'm trying to get that finalized, so I'm going to set up a meeting ideally for tomorrow, and we'll see how quickly we can push things through.
Ooh, another sneak peek. Well, I have a couple of minutes left before the stream ends, but I wanted to give one last thing that I had beef with that Pete made. So this was our group picture at Rocky Mountain, okay? And then Pete decided to make AI of our team.
Oh, was that Pete that made that? I thought it was a community member.
Why am I so short? As you can see here, I am pretty much on par with almost everyone here, if not maybe an inch or two shorter. What the hell?
Just Yuli.
What the heck is this?
I like that it lightened my hair up quite a bit and gave me a lot more than what I have, so I'm okay with that.
Why am I like 2 feet shorter than everyone else? This is a hate crime, Joel.
I think you're further up. I think it's the depth. See, you're in front of everybody. I think you probably are equivalent to Pete's height. It has you, for whatever reason, it puts you like a foot or two ahead.
I don't know. Pete has it out against me because I put out the wrong teaser. I look like
he's devising evil plans in the background to everybody that messed up something on his launch.
He's passive aggressively out to get us.
Yeah. Hey, well, I want to let you finish off your stream. I just want to come in and share that and say hello and just sabotage a little bit. I figured I did it last week in real life. I'd do it digitally this week.
Yay, Joel! Yay! I'll make sure to try to stream snipe. What is it? Stream snipe you in another one?
You can't because you can't go into. I don't do through StreamYards.
Oh, so I see. This is
Bro.
I see you, Joel.
But I'll let you go, Joel. There you go. They love that spelling now. You guys all have a good day. I'll see everybody here tomorrow, hopefully at 7 p.m. Eastern for Meet the Polymaker. Shameless plug for the company ran program. So, but have a good day. I will talk to you later, Tiffany.
Bye, Joel. Thanks.
And I'm zipping those files. It's like 17 gigs, so it's going to be a little bit, and I'll share it to SharePoint.
Don't worry, it's a lot of content. Don't worry about it.
I'll see you later. See you, everybody.
Bye, Joel. And that was Joel. So this kind of concludes my stream. So you heard from a second person, and also actually Pete is in here too. You heard from 3 people that all the juicy behind the scenes of went down with this launch. We definitely had some hiccups, but you know, what's a launch without a hiccup? What holiday is it? What holiday is it today, Pezlas? Stay creeping, aka hard on Discord made this. Okay, so my anger will stay towards stay creeping. Why did you make me 3 feet? National Hamburger Day. Does this mean we have to release hamburger content? I don't know if we have a 3D printed hamburger ready to post anywhere. That's interesting. But anyways, guys, thank you for joining my stream. Today was just a lot of me yapping, just to give you guys some behind the scenes of our HTPLA. I thought that would be a little fun, since you guys don't really, well, most companies don't really show the behind the scenes of what goes down on a product launch. So we just want to show you what goes down, the hardships, the many sleepless nights, and what it takes, just a glimpse of, you know, the amount of meetings that we have to make this launch successful. And yeah, thank you guys for making it successful. A lot of good feedback so far on our socials, and we can't wait to keep this momentum rolling. Thank you guys again for joining. And this concludes my stream. I will see you guys next week. And I probably will have more prints for you next week and maybe some more behind the scenes to show you guys. But thank you for joining, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Oh, wait, I got one more. I did not tell it to make it short. I got one where I made Pete micro. That's the one you should have sent, Pete. That's the one. That's the one, because I look like I'm 2 feet tall compared to all these men. With that being said, goodbye, everyone. I had a really good laugh with that AI. Hopefully we'll see some more. Thanks for joining, guys, and we'll see you online and in our socials. Here's to a successful launch of HTPLA. Bye, guys.